Hello, my name is Ash. I am a true twin flame. I've been pursuing a twin flame journey for the last 2 years since 2015, but truthfully all my life, like many of you. And I have been a psychic for 16 years. I am going to do a twin flame reading for you, for all true twin flames. I am going to use a version of the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, and I'm going to pull each card and just tell you the meanings as I go along. This is for the week of July 27th, starting on Thursday, to next week, or for the next couple of days. I haven't quite decided. I think I'm going to do a couple of paid readings that you can pay me for, and this one will be free. So it's a general reading for all true twin flames. So I'm dividing my deck into two, and I read intuitively, just channeled information from the divine, from my guides. My guides really got me on this twin flame journey in the first place. If by that I mean they pushed me and shoved me, screaming every step of the way. I was definitely the runner. I have run away from him all of my life. We have a 5D relationship where he's very loving to me in 5D. We haven't technically met. I've seen him from afar, and I would like to actually meet him, but so far all he does is kind of indicate that he knows who I am and doesn't talk to me. So it's very confusing. But I was the runner at first, and he pursued me in 5D, and I blocked him out really strongly. I am the divine feminine though, I'm not the masculine aspect. So that was kind of confusing when I started to get into the whole twin flame thing, and people would say, oh, you're the runner, but you're also the masculine if you're the runner. And I was like, no, I'm goddess energy. I'm as goddess as you get, but I'm not the chaser. So I am a feminine runner, and when I stopped running, then he started running. This is interesting. Anyway, so the past couple of weeks, I actually did a reading a little while ago, but I didn't record it. And in that reading, I got that there was, for like the last couple of weeks, there was a standstill. We were all at a standstill. And there's nothing that could be done. And the reason that we were at the standstill was because the earth has to catch up to where we are, because we've progressed and moved so far and done so much amazing work spiritually for the entire planet, that it was a little too much for the earth to handle. And so the earth kind of said, you know, hold on. Twin flames are harbingers of the new age. That's why my guides pushed me, shoving, and like I was screaming, I didn't want to do it. But I've always worked for the ascension of earth. And it was 3 years ago they told me you can't go any further on your path unless you find your mate. And you know, I moved to different cities, and I was just looking for someone who was kind of hot and someone who was kind of fun to be around. I didn't think it would be any of this like destiny fated stuff. And if I think back to when I was a kid, you know, of course I always knew there was someone out there for me when I was really small. I forgot about those days. And so, you know, I just fell into it like everybody else. I think one mistake a lot of twin flames make is kind of thinking that we're normal people, and we're not. We're not, you know, just everyday normal people. We can't treat ourselves like everyday normal people. We're divine harbingers of the new age. We are literally transforming the world. We're very necessary to the planet. Nothing can change unless we fully participate in this twin flame thing, coming back into full alignment with our twin flames. And as for that, there's a lot of information that I've discovered, following different twin flame readers, some of whom I don't follow anymore, as my own information started to come through, and it was like, oh, this is what this is all about. So you'll hear me talk about this a lot in the coming days as I do more readings. One thing that came up was that there are too many twin flames on the planet. Well, there's more than there's supposed to be. And this is because, so I'm not Christian, and I'm a witch. I'm fully pagan, green things, crystals. I like the earth, I like hugging trees. I'm a pagan all the way. But Jesus and Mary do come to me just as masters, ascended masters, and they explain to me, how necessary twin flames are, how necessary our love is for the planet. So in the Christian mythology, there is a battle, right? There's a battle between good and evil. And most pagans don't really subscribe to this, but as a psychic and a channel and a medium for the last, well, more a channel than a medium, for the last 16 years, I've discovered in my own path that there is a battle. I wouldn't say it's between, God and the devil per se, but it is between something that wants everyone to be higher, to be evolved, and be loved and loving, and between something that wants to pull people down. And it's done this for a very long time, for hundreds of thousands of years on this planet, and prevented humans from being our fullest selves. And I have a group for addressing this issue. It's called Level 2. It's on Facebook, and I invite you to join me. We have a great, robust group full of really magical people and change makers. So it's my favorite place, and it's growing every day. I'll put a link to that below in the description. But there is a battle between good and evil, and because the evil, I call it the downward spiral, because the downward spiral people have been so dominant on this planet for a long time, they've established a lot of things on the planet. Monuments and temples, and hidden in plain view, extremely occult things hidden in plain view in cities you go to every day or live in America and around the world. And a lot of these temples and things were to suppress people, to suppress the earth energy and prevent the earth energy from helping people spiral up to be our fullest selves. So what happened with the twin flame situation that I discovered last month, because I was fighting a being that doesn't like twin flames. And as I did this, I discovered that I was not supposed to be here. And I've always felt this. And a lot of people, when I shared this in some of the twin flame groups, a lot of people could identify with this. And they said, I also feel like I'm not supposed to be here. And I felt like something pulled me here, or sorcerer did some kind of magic on me and pulled me here. The full information that I got was because I had this feeling a sorcerer pulled me here and made me incarnate. Was that most twin flames don't meet in a lifetime, right? And you have the one half of the twin flames, and they were here doing their work on the planet. The rest of us who were not incarnate were helping them, but from off planet. So the way that, spirits might come and help, humans in our bodies, we were helping our twin flames, making them very powerful and making them create enormous change on the planet, which is not what the downward spiral people want at all. To stop this, because they do things like this, they'll see people rising up and they'll put a stop to it however they can. To stop this, they pulled a massive amount of us who were doing this amazing work for our twin flames, who were in their bodies. They did sorcery and they pulled us into bodies. And then on top of that, a lot of us who were pulled into bodies were also paired with very difficult life situations, hard families, tragic events, abusive events, things that would make us afraid to be our full selves. This was all on purpose. You were being suppressed on purpose. A lot of light workers and amazing people have done a lot of amazing work, including a lot of us. You know, I've been working for this planet since I came in, basically, since I remember I was 6 and I was like, I have to save this planet. And probably a lot of you have the same sort of similar feelings, or maybe a strong feeling of mission, a strong feeling of needing to unite with your twin flame or your soul family, because that's your purpose. We're stronger than they are. We're more powerful than they are. But they're powerful. So what's required of twin flames is to fully come together in this time and no longer be apart, even though there are so many of us on the planet, way more than there are supposed to be. And this is part of the reason for the delays in all of our relationships. When we, you know, have this kind of like back and forth, and I'm trying to come close to you and I can't, and I'm trying. The earth literally can't handle all of us coming together at the same time. There's too many of us here. A couple of twin flame unions is changing for everything. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, their twin flame union. And they have been so transformational for the entire planet. Just, you know, the two of them in the Middle East have changed so many things. You only need a couple of twin flame unions to change a planet. There are hundreds of us, hundreds of couples, if not thousands, but I think it's hundreds of couples and thousands of twin flames, individuals. We're not that many, but we're not a small amount. There's too many of us here. The earth just needs time to catch up. It needs to catch its breath. There's 7 billion people on the planet, and we came here for them, right? So, you know, there's a fate paradox sort of thing going on, where on the one hand, we were brought here, a lot of us against our will, but in the all that is, in this cycle, the wheel that turns, there are no mistakes, ever, ever, in service to the upward spiral. And so we're also meant to be here, right? It's like when a tragedy happens, but it sets off a course of events that is also meant to happen for the upliftment of the planet. So, you know, you might have a sense of purpose, of mission, and knowing you belong here, because you do belong here. It was just, you know, the paradox. In the one hand, you're not supposed to be here, possibly, if that resonates with you. On the other hand, you are supposed to be here in the divine order of all things, the all that is, which controls everything, the good and the bad, the upward and the downward. It's like, it's everything at all times. So that's all of the reading that I did a couple of weeks ago, was talking about the delay and how we were just in a holding pattern. At this time, I'm just like channeling this now, and haven't even pulled any cards. Pretty cool. My guys did tell me, like, I don't need to pull cards, and, you know, I'm a channel, but I don't know. So at this time, what's going on is we're gradually moving out of the holding pattern. Gradually. We're coming into our power, and this is scary to a lot of us, to the divine feminine and the divine masculine. A lot of us haven't been united for hundreds of thousands of years. So can you imagine that? Like someone that you loved more than anybody in the entire everything, and you've yearned for them and you've wanted them, but you know, you're content to watch over them from afar, but now you get to meet them in the flesh and be with them again, and whoa, you know, it's like, that's really overwhelming, kind of. A lot of the masculine are getting kind of that stage fright where they're just afraid of the feminine, and they don't really know if they'll measure up to us. The feminine, that goddess aspect, people are kind of overwhelmed with our power because we're very powerful. And as we align with our power, we move the alignment of the divine feminine on the entire planet. It's, you know, it's not just you. None of this is just you. None of this is just you. Every time you do something, you move systems for the entire world, for all 7 billion people here. In joining with the other twin flames here, like we move in synchronicity, and then huge shifts happen, and then the whole earth has to say, let me catch up. So the divine feminine has been very suppressed on this planet for a very long time. Rape, murder, control, bondage, ritual marriage, genital mutilation, child marriage, terrible crimes against the feminine. And all of this is changing, but it changes within you first, the twin flame. You shift the divine feminine within yourself, males and females. You shift the divine feminine within yourself, and then the energy in the rest of the planet has no choice but to shift as well. It can be no other way. You are reality. You are forming reality for the planet. You are divine, you are needed, and you are the all in a human body. It's awesome. Okay. Cards. So I divided them into 2 decks, and I'm going to pull from the top. One side's going to be for the feminine, one side's going to be for the masculine. I'm going to pull the feminine first, because I like us. Okay. I pulled 3 cards for the feminine. I'll show them to you as I go through them. The first card is the Knight of Wands. I don't know if you can see this. I just got this camera, so go this way. The Knight of Wands reversed. I do read reverse cards. And this talks about what I was just talking about for the feminine, that we're coming into our power, we're scared of it. It's scary. It means being wealthy. And I do mean wealthy, like money. Money is a form of energy. It's also something that we need to have on this planet. The other side has it in abundance, way abundance. And they've designed systems that can only be challenged when you have it as well. If you've been feeling at this time new business ideas, collaborations, the urge to get a raise at work, or to switch careers, but especially business ideas, inventions, new things that have not been done before by anyone, that's just in your mind and is all the time, you need to do it. And not only will you be able to do it successfully, it will bring you great wealth, incredible wealth, but you need to do it now. The second card I pulled is Strength, right side up. In Strength, I love the lion. I've been seeing a lot of lions. We're approaching the Lion's Gate. Lions in Leo all talk about courage, coming out of your shell, being the person that you truly are, showing the world your magical self, your hidden self, that we know is inside of you, but you hide from us as if we don't know, but we know. And I've gone through this too. I go through this too. I can't really, see myself from the outside, and I don't realize, I haven't in the past, like, oh, I'm very magical and sparkly and very beautiful. You're very magical and sparkly and beautiful. The world needs to see you, like, all of you. I don't care how crazy your idea is. I don't care, like, who you think is going to piss off. You need to do it, and we need to see you. Come out. Come out of your shell. The third card that I drew is the Four of Cups reversed. I don't like seeing this card because it talks about you not really being able to do it. So I'm going to pull some more cards for that. What's stopping us? What's getting in our way? Why do we feel limited? Why do we feel like we can't be who we truly are at this time, in service to ourselves and in service to the planet? I pulled 3 cards. I got the Seven of Wands. Like, how do I use this thing? The Seven of Wands, reversed. The Magician, glare, 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 reversed. Aha, aha. I'm like trying to figure it out so hard. It's like reverse time. It's like this is my left hand, but it's like on the, it's good. It's a good camera. And I was like, it's so confusing. Magician reversed. And the Queen of Cups, right side up. The Queen of Cups is where we're going. This is a woman in her power. This is a woman fully in love with herself and with the entire universe. There's no boundaries between others and her love. So the question is, what formed the boundaries? What caused there to be a boundary between you and love, that you can't love fully? Because that's all, when you have your business idea, it's love. And then money is a form of love that comes back to you. So it's love out, love in, love out, love in. The boundaries, right? Seven of Wands reversed and the Magician reversed. I'm going to go like backwards in how I pulled them. So the Magician reversed is that you don't feel that you have the tools or the skills to do what you're being called to do. You don't feel you have the tools, not you don't have the tools. Think about it. How can you achieve what you want to achieve? Not who's going to hate it, not what people are going to think of it. How can you achieve what you're feeling you want to achieve? At this time, what's required is absolute focus. You are divine. You are the divine in a human body. You are entitled to have the reality that you want to create. It's your divine right as a master on this planet. Seven of Wands reversed. This talks to me about, and I know you're all different ages, but for me, this seems like when you were 16, regardless of how old you are, when you were 16, someone threw you off your path. Think back to when you were 16 now. Think back to the energy that you had. Think back to what was in your heart. You felt hopeful. You felt like you could do things differently. You felt like you could change the world. And then what? Something, someone, some event, and this was all by design, right? The downward spiral people. They know when to get us. They know when to affect us. And they saw you bursting out of your shell, and they sent this person to squash it. That's when the boundaries started. That's when you started to say, I give up. And you didn't even really know or understand why you were so exhausted already. It's because you've been fighting all your life up to that point, to get to that point, your entire life. You know, you've been through hell and high water. You've been through so many challenges. And it felt like at that point, things should start getting easier. But the downward spiral people knew that you were on the brink of this breakthrough, on the cusp of this breakthrough. And so they sent their agents to discourage you, and it worked. It's not your fault. It's only their fault. You have to know that first and truly. It's only their fault. What you need to do now is remember that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. You are capable, you have the tools, you have the skills, and you have a divine mandate. Now for the divine masculine. Good cards. Oh, until the last one. Okay, so the first card I drew for the divine masculine was the Knight of Cups. And it's right side up. I love this card, right? Outstretched love, just coming with that full purpose, love, power towards you, towards what he knows to be love. So he can't see you unless he can see you. What that means is you have to come out of your shell. You have to be your full self. He's coming towards the love. So I'm kind of correcting myself when I said he's coming towards you. If he can't see you, he's not coming towards you, but he's coming towards the direction of the love, right? And you are the love, but it's like radiating. As he gets closer, it's going to be very confusing for him to actually see you and find you unless you have come out of your shell. The second card I drew is the Knight of Pentacles, right side up. And so it's more really good masculine energy, really good stuff. I love this card following the card we just had because this card is very, not only is he coming towards you, not only is he coming towards the love, he wants to protect you in a way that you've never been protected before. He wants to own, okay, so he wants to own you. I'm assuming I'm talking to all divine feminine right now, but if you're the divine masculine, then this is about you. Talking to the divine feminine. It's confusing. So what I'm getting right now is he wants to own you, like possess you. It's not in the sense of the corrupt divine masculine, because this is right side up, right? So he's not like, I want to suppress you. But there's a thing with the divine feminine where we want to be very traditionally divine feminine, and that's okay. So if you want to surrender, like control, not in an abusive way, but the way that traditional femininity around the world has been, which has been abusive for many women who did not want to do it, it's the path of the divine feminine to be that in its whole good aspect. And that takes the weight off of the rest of the world to have this corrupt version of it. So in a lot of the world, you'll see traditional, like women, like follow their husbands and things like that in support. And the corrupted version is, okay, and women don't have a voice and they can't speak up, and that's not who we are or what we're about. But there is a need to sort of follow him and support him, to let him be the head of the arrow and you be the shaft, right? You're the power. You're very extremely powerful. You're the power behind the piercing of the arrow. He does the action. He pulls you along. He protects you. He guards you, but you belong to him in like kind of that primal like way, which is good, which is what you want in terms of embracing the divine feminine. Not in terms of giving up your power, because you are powerful and he sees that and he knows that. And that's why he does what he does. That's why he walks in front. That's why he says, follow me. It's not because you're not powerful, which we see in the corrupted version. It's because you're so powerful, it's kind of like, let me go first. Let me take the effort away from you. Like, you just shine, be beautiful, be the power, the heart of the operation. Let me take the actions inspired by you, inspired by your courage and your strength and your beauty. Just let him go in front. Very different from what we've been taught. The third card I drew is the Two of Cups reversed. And this talks about what I was just talking about, that he can't see you unless he can see you. So what this heralds is, you know, he's going to miss you. The way things are right now, you haven't come out. You haven't shown who you truly are to the planet, in the world, your true magical sparkly self. You haven't embraced your dream, as implausible as it may seem, or it might seem like everyone will hate you if you do it. It's still yours. It's your duty and your mandate. He can only see you when you do that. At this point, he's going to miss you, because you're not following your path as far as your soul's calling. So those are all the cards I have for the Divine Masculine and Feminine. I'm going to shuffle the remaining cards and draw a couple of cards just for the overview, advice on what we need as a couple and a team, and how we get there together. Because it's like fate paradox, you know, we're fated to be together, but we also have the choice not to be together, but we're fated to, it's confusing, right? It's both at the same time. Right, okay, exactly. So this card I just drew, the Wheel of Fortune, is exactly what I was literally just saying a second ago, which is fate, right? Right side up, it's, you know, fate. Things are fated to happen. Upside down, it's the paradox, right? You have free will. You can choose for things not to happen. Fate is always in play. So you're fated still, but you can't rely on fate. It's a paradox. You have free will, but you have to use it to choose the path that will bring you what you want. And if you choose not to, then you lose. And we don't want you to lose. The second card I'm drawing for both is the Moon. I've been seeing the Moon a lot recently. It's inspiring me to create a course around Moon Goddess magic, and that will be available soon, in about a week, or maybe tomorrow, depending. The Moon, the goddess, the goddess is the power that's needed to come through right now. He's done everything that he needs to do. The masculine has done, regardless of how it looks on the surface, regardless of, you know, you can feel him in 5D and it feels like he has more work to do. It's all you at this point, Divine Feminine. You're the one that's needed to push things forward. You're the shaft of the arrow. You need to come into your power for both to thrive. All right, how do you feel? Maybe one more card? Yeah, let's do one more. Oh, this is nice. Okay, the last card I'm drawing is the Six of Cups, right side up. And the Six of Cups in this deck, it's just good feelings. Think about the good feelings you have together. Focus on the good. Focus on your path together, the love you have for each other. Focus on how good it feels to be in his presence. Focus on how he makes you feel. And for the Divine Masculine, focus on how good she makes you feel. And don't worry, she's gonna make it. She's gonna do it. Just focus on the love. Be in the love and focus on that. Blessings and aloha. I'm happy to do one-on-one readings for you. I'll put information in the description below. Many blessings. Have a great week.